In this section, I like to talk about passing arguments into a method. So we talked in the last video about how to call methods and how to write a method. Now we're going to pass our argument into a method to actually solve a problem. And this is where methods get pretty powerful. So we're going to use the same example we used in the beginning of the chapter. We're going to create a basically what we want to do is we want to have the method green display, but we want to make a new method that actually takes in a username from input from the main method, and then ask a couple questions about how much you want to deposit, how much did you want to deposit, and tell the user, confirm to the user, this is how much you want to deposit. All right, so let's go ahead and start off by writing the method. All right, so let's say we want to create a method that will accept a string. All right, and so we'll go ahead and say public here, static void again, and then we'll call this method username. And with this username method, we want to accept a string, and we'll declare the string in we'll declare the reference variable of the string. We'll create the string object here, declare the string in the method header, in the arguments section. And we'll name it, we'll just name the string name. Doesn't have to be anything elaborate. And in the method body, we'll declare a local variable, double. And that double will hold the count balance, right? And we'll also have to declare another scanner class. And this is something we can look up a bit about scanners, right? If we type in keyboard here and we try to use a scanner method, a keyboard isn't a declared method or reference object of the scanner class. And the reason for that is the scope of the object, the scanner object that we created. It doesn't apply for this method. It only applies within the bounds of the main method. So we have to create a different scanner object. So the import still the scanner import still applies, so we can still use this. We don't have to re-import anything, but we do have to create a new scanner class. And really all we have to do, we don't have to type it all out again. We just copy and paste this and paste this down here, and then we'll call it keyboard 2, so that we're not confused as to which keyboard object or scanner object we're using in different methods. And we'll talk more about that in module 6 about shadowing objects and variables. But anyway, so we create a new scanner class object, and we'll go ahead and system that out, and we'll ask the user again for your username and then we'll say we'll have the main method ask the user what their username is, and then here we'll say username and then plus name and then plus. We'll go ahead and put a new line. Please enter how much you want to deposit. All right. Should be fine there. And then we'll put in use the count balance variable, and we'll put in double dot parse double. We'll use that double method out of the double class to convert the string that the user is going to import via the next line method of the scanner class. And that should convert the double into a string, or sorry, the string into a double that will input or dump its value into the account balance variable. Right? And then we want to tell the user, hey, you want to deposit, and actually here we'll use the format specifier, right? Something that we learned in I believe module 4 or module 4. We'll say we want to deposit money, right? So it's going to be two levels of precision for a double, and then we'll put in account balance as the floating point notation number that you want to format. All right, so we're throwing up errors here because we never use the username class here, or sorry, username method. So we'll go back up here into our if statement, and if the user does have an account, then we'll display welcome to SDCCD bank, and then we want to also have the user input the username. So we'll do system.out, that print line again, and then we'll ask the user, please enter your username. And then the user will enter his or her username, and then we'll use the same string object that we created up here, since this has scope in this main method to hold the username. And we'll do keyboard, since keyboard is the scanner class object that we use in the main method. We use keyboard.nextLine to get that information from the user, and then we'll use username, the actual user method, and then you can see here the IntelliJ is telling me it takes a string reference variable, and the name is name, so we will give them input, which is a string, and after that it says that, hey, everything's good to run, and so let's go over what we are asking what the program is actually doing. It is asking the user, do you have an account, yes or no? It'll take that string and it'll compare it in the if statement, and if you do have if you input a y, uppercase y or a lowercase y, then it will run this body of the if statement. Else, it'll print out, please create an account. But if you do have an account, then it'll reach out and call the greetings method or greetings display method and say welcome to SDCCD bank. And then next it'll ask you enter your username. It'll take that username, put it into the input string variable, and then take that input string variable and use it as an argument for the username method, which we call here use input as the argument for username. Sends that string to this method down here. Username is it will take that string, input it into the local variable name, which we declare in the method header, and then we also declare another variable, which is a double, create another scanner class because the scope of the first scanner class doesn't include the username method, and then we ask the user, your username is, and then it'll tell the user what the username is actually, and then we'll ask the user how much do you want to deposit into the account. We take that amount that they deposit using the scanner class, we'll parse that into a double, since it'll be a string initially, parse it into a double, and we dump that data into the double variable that we declared up here, account balance. And then we print out account balance, tell the user, hey, you want to deposit this amount. We format that double into a precision of 2 floating notation number, and dump out the information into the terminal. So we'll go ahead and run this program. And here it says, do you have an account? We'll say, yes, we do have an account. And then we'll say, welcome to SDCCD Bank. Where is your username? We'll put in Rab Muhammad as my username. And then we'll ask you, how much do you want to deposit? And here we want to put in, say, $100. And then, it'll say you want to deposit 100. We can actually improve this by putting a dollar sign here, right? That would probably make a little bit more sense. Either way, all right. So that's the basics of passing an argument to a method. Now, if you want the method to return a value, say you want this deposit to be returned to the main body of the main method, so you can manipulate in the main method, or you can input it into a variable or what have you. Then you have to convert this username method into a value returning method, and we'll talk about that in the next lesson.